Hi guys, it's your girl here, Hope Katana, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all back to Word of Hope YouTube channel. For those of you who may be joining us for the very first time, karibuni. The platform bado haijaja. Get yourself a seat, make yourself comfortable, relax, and let's enjoy this talk. Now, as you've seen from our title, today we'll be sharing and talking about how people have been using mental illnesses as adjectives in their day-to-day conversations and why we need to stop that. Now, well, I am a victim. I'm guilty of this. I have personally used mental illness terminologies to describe something that I was going through, to describe something that I liked, and I came to realize that it has a negative impact on mental illness because it has a tendency of increasing the stigma that is around mental illness. So yeah, so that's what we'll be talking about today, and I'll be measuring on 4 major terminologies, 4 major mental illnesses that people have been misusing, and these are OCD, we have bipolar, we have psycho, and we have schizo. Now, maybe before I go on with the video, I want to bring to your attention that the reasons why I'm doing these videos solely for the purpose of creating awareness. I'm not doing this video so that you can make a self-diagnosis on yourself or anything. If you feel that you need help, kindly go to the hospital, seek a medical intervention, look for a psychiatrist, look for a mental health practitioner, look for a doctor, and they'll be able to advise you accordingly. Do not use these videos to make a diagnosis on yourself, tafadhali. Now, back to our video. As much as I'll be measuring on these 4 major diagnoses, that is the OCD, bipolar, schizo, and psycho, and to bring to your attention that there are other terminologies that people tend to use that I also want us to be careful of when you're using them. And these words are nuts, we have crazy, we have insane, we have lonely, we have disturbed, loose wires, or loose screw. Fun fact that I came across, and I'll be sharing it with you guys. I want to bring to your attention that there are 171,476 English words that are currently in use. That is as per the 2nd edition of the 20-volume Oxford English Dictionary. That means that you have so many adjectives to choose from, and mental illnesses aren't supposed to be amongst them. Now, today I'll be talking specifically on OCD, then I'll be sharing the other diagnosis in the upcoming videos, but for today I'll be talking specifically on OCD. And as we talk about OCD, just to shed some light on it, for those of you who may be looking at me and wondering, what is OCD? OCD is a mental illness, and it's a term made up of 3 words, that is obsessive compulsive disorder. So OCD is a short form of this terminology, obsessive compulsive disorder. And as a mental illness, it's made up of 2 parts, that is obsessions from the word obsessive and compulsions from the word compulsive. Now I want to state a few statements that I've come across in the when people are using mental illnesses, when people are using OCD is an adjective, which in the long run I want us to bring a stop to that. So one of the statements that I came across, in case you guys see me looking down, is because I have the notes written down in my notebook, so I'll be reading some of them out of my notebook. So there's this statement that goes by, that's my OCD coming out. I am so OCD. Oh my god, you're such a neat freak. Now, last week we were talking, I was sharing with a friend, I was hanging out with a friend, and in the course of our talk, she was trying to describe how she loves coffee, how she's addicted to coffee, and she said a statement that I felt like, we're not taking this thing too far, we're taking the joke too far. And she was explaining, and she was telling me how she loves coffee, how she's addicted to coffee, and she happened to state that she has obsessive coffee disorder. Obsessive coffee disorder. Guys, I think we're now taking this joke too far. And what I like to say at this point is that it's not okay to talk about OCD in that way. It's not okay to use OCD is not a joke. It's not okay to use OCD as an adjective to describe something that you like. OCD is not an adjective to describe how neat or tidy or clean someone is. So now back to OCD in general. I've told you that OCD is a word made up of 3 parts. It's a mental illness. As a mental illness, it has 2 parts. That is the obsessions and the compulsions. I want us to look at what compulsions are and what obsessions are. So as a mental illness, one may suffer solely from obsessions on its own, or may suffer from compulsions, or may suffer from both, that is obsessions and compulsions. Then another thing that I want us to notice that obsessions are unwanted and repetitive thoughts, urges, images that don't go away and mostly cause anxiety. The obsessions may focus on anything, and most of the time I've seen people focus on is germs. I'll share a little more on that in the next few minutes. Then we have compulsions. Compulsions are actions meant to reduce anxiety caused by obsessions. They may be behaviors like washing, cleaning, and putting things in a certain way. Shows when they present themselves as behaviors, we are able to see them. We're able to see people acting in a certain way, and we'll be able to know that there's something wrong with this person. But then at times they present themselves in the mind as phrases. So you may find someone, she's seated, but in her mind she's counting things. In her mind she's having some repetitive phrases. So when they present themselves in that way, we are not able to see them, but they're happening in his or her mind in an attempt to overcome the obsessions that they have. I hope you guys are able to catch that. Now, people suffering from OCD most of the time they describe it as a feeling, like they have to do something until it feels right. And in the course of my interaction with people suffering from OCD, most of the time they tend to tell you that these things, okay, like it happens, it's an urge, it happens without them knowing, it happens without it feels like it's out of their control, And a friend of mine was sharing with me, okay, not really a friend but a client, a client was sharing with me how her OCD presents. And at one time she was telling me of how at times she's ready to sleep, and she actually locks the door. Then when she hits the mattress, or when she goes in, she gets into bed, something tells her to go and check whether she has really locked the door, whether the door is securely locked, and she'll wake up and go check and find the door that it's locked. Then she'll go back to bed. Then after a few minutes, an urge comes again for her to go and check whether the door is really locked. Then there are others who have a tendency of it's not the door, but to go, they have an urge to go and check whether they have really closed the tap. Like they'll go check, is this tap really locked, really closed? Then they go back, then they have the same urge and they go check it again, and they go check it again, and such things. And it's not fun. They don't enjoy doing this. Then there are other people who have a way of, they want things placed in a certain order, they want things arranged in a certain way, and when it doesn't happen that way, it doesn't give them peace. Guys. It doesn't give them peace, and so they'll keep arranging and rearranging things, and putting them in a certain way, as in they believe that this thing is supposed to be in this specific place, facing this direction. So when you come in to tamper with it, it makes them have anxiety of some sort, and mpaka ile kitu irudishwe vile venye ilikuwa. That's the only time that they feel peace, that they feel now it's now okay, and that thing goes away for that period. Yeah, then I want to bring to your attention, I want us to know that the compulsions are a way to cope with obsessions, and people who experience OCD may experience distress if they can't complete the compulsion. So guys, so you see, as much as we tend to talk about this OCD and we're trying to seem it to bring it like to make it seem normal and everything, people are really suffering out there. OCD isn't a joke. OCD is people suffering from OCD feel like they are inside their box, you know, and they're really trying to come out. They do have control over whatever they are doing, and to overcome it, we always have to take them through something called behavior therapy and psychotherapy, and with time it they get better. There's also another common one that I was about to forget, behavior that is mostly presented by people suffering from OCD, and that is historia or clean. Yeah, most of the time they have this obsession. They have this obsession thoughts that there are germs everywhere, so they have a tendency of cleaning and washing their hands, cleaning surfaces, you know, as in they are extra clean, they are extreme. Guys, we've come to the end of the video. I hope that you guys have learned something, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. That's just a way of showing support, you know. Then if you have any question, feel free to post your question on the comment section. If you're not comfortable with that, if it's a personal question, kindly feel free to send your question in my email address. I'll be linking my email address in the description box, so feel free to send your question via my email. Then make sure that you share this video. I'm only able to reach a few people, you know, and I've been able to reach you, so you are able to reach many other people out there by sharing this video. So share the video, feel free to share this video, spread the word, you know, and share whatever you've learned from this video. Yeah, otherwise, thank you for watching. I wish you have an amazing week, and remember to worry less and smile more. Love you. See you in the next video. Bye.
Don't buy what they're selling. Couldn't be further from the truth.